the time. Try to use that against me. So now I gotta go back there Monday and shit like that. Even though I paid all my tabs and all my laps for insurance and shit. So now I gotta pay late fees now. That's great. Right. And then me and the lady got in an argument because she was trying to be a smart ass and stuff like that. So I was being smart back at her. She thought I called her. She thought I called her a bitch, but I said this is some bitch ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I did call her a bitch. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, but then I was trying to get my insurance straightened out. Niggas trying to scam me on the insurance. I was like, no, I'm not paying that much for my insurance. I pay like $8 and shit at first. I'm just like, nah, nigga, we ain't doing that fucking shit today. So while he was doing that, I was like, you know what? Hold on. I was doing some shit online. And boom, I got a cheaper rate. Cuss his bullshit ass out. Threatened to call ICE next time I saw next time I talked to his ass and shit. Let me stop. But I'm just glad today's almost over. I got a date tonight. Like bad boy. Makes me feel so good. Let me stop. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about this Cameron and Jim Jones beef. I'm tired of hearing about that shit. Shit. We share this video. What you do today? Just chill. Be like that. Be like that. You understand? I ain't buying no money on fast food today. That's a shock, especially on a Friday. And I'm not doing that because of this whole bullshit blackout, economic blackout niggas talking about. I'm just doing it because of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to save some bread. Got dreams I gotta do. I swear to God, niggas gonna start this shit. Oh boy, I'm ready for this one. Ready for this one, boy. Shit, I got like 5 honorable mentions. That's crazy. That's the most I've had in a minute.
Only really got like 5. I didn't even make no 10.
Oh, you said you only made a top 5?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool. Give me 1 second. So, do you want to just go through your top 5 and shit like that, or do you want to just
It's up to you.
okay? You know what, yo? Well, I'll just say my full list because like I only got like not that much time here. I'll just say my full list. What I like about them. You say your full list and shit like that too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You two, how y'all doing today? This is your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy Try in the building with me. How you doing, Try?
Yeah. Same.
Before I start, I want to give I want to give a quick rest in peace to one of the greatest actors of all time, Gene Hackman. He actually passed away like I think he passed away like Thursday morning and stuff like that. Him, his wife, and a dog and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They just found him dead and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna be real. They say they were found dead. At first, they were trying to say it was carbon monoxide, but then they were tested negative for that shit. You know what I'm saying? At first, they didn't want to classify the death as suspicious, but I'm just like, nigga, that is suspicious, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? It's like it's crazy enough that the couple died, but the dog dying too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
other than
Yeah,
that,
that's funny.
right? Gene Hackman. I mean, I've seen a few movies from him. My first memories like the Superman movies and shit,
Mm-hmm.
the French Connection, which ironically I was planning on reviewing those movies pretty soon. I'm not just doing that because of his death.
Right.
Um, Bonnie and Clyde, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, the dude, Enemy of the State with him and Will Smith, though. Ooh, that was a crazy movie and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. By the time like he passed away, he had retired from acting in 2004 with the last movie called Rose to Mooseport. And I think I read somewhere because I know he did that one with Ray Romano. I read somewhere that he did not like that fucking movie because he felt that it was a bit too silly and then shit like that. So he had to he retired right after that and stuff like that too. And you know Ray Romano at that time, he had that show Everybody Loves Raymond and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he mostly spent most of his latter career just doing narration for documentaries until he really really retired from that and shit. But he passed away at 95 years old. Rest in peace to Gene Hackman. And be on the lookout for those French Connection reviews. Like that's probably gonna come maybe later on this month, by God willing. Yeah, we talked about Michelle Trachtenberg. We talked about her the other day. Rest in peace to her again and shit. All right, today's video we're gonna do is our top stand-up specials and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much made a top 10. Try made a top 5 and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna go by the full list. The full list. Our list. Talk about what we liked about the special, what was groundbreaking about the special and stuff like that. I'm gonna put this shit on vibrate because it's getting. That's why I hate doing videos around this time. Everybody wants to hit me up. All right. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get started with my list. My number 10. I'm gonna share the screen too for some of these. My number 10. I gotta go with Martin Lawrence with Run and Tell That. This one came out in 2002 and
Yep.
stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? This was a very interesting stand-up special. This was actually his second stand-up comedy film after You So Crazy, which, spoiler alert, that's actually an honorable mention. But around this time with Martin Lawrence, he was going through a lot of issues, like personal and professional. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all know the story about how he started wilding out in his interstate, you know, with the gun and everything like that too. And then the whole issues around the time like he went through that shit with the thin line between love and hate, and then the whole shit with the Martin show with him and Tisha. I mean, and then you know at that time he was doing like a lot of these weird movies, like these cop movies and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then pretty much when he did Big Mama's House, that pretty much was like a combat for him. Which I'm gonna be real, I never cared for that Big Mama's House movies. I never cared for those movies and shit. But this stand-up special, he was talking about all that shit. He was pretty much like exposing himself and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this might be my favorite Martin Lawrence stand-up special. At first, I was going to say "You So Crazy" and stuff like that, but I've seen "You So Crazy" so many fucking times and shit. I even have like the comedy album, the live talking shit, which most of that material came from that album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, this stand-up special was very dope. I mean, Martin Lawrence was still at his prime around that time and shit like that too. I haven't seen his recent stand-up special. I know a lot of people love that one and stuff like that, but I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna see that definitely one day. But yeah, man, this one right here, definitely a very, very, very dope stand-up special and shit like that too. Um, Next one, my number 9. Give me one second. I'm not gonna do that. My number 9. Um, this is stand-up special. I remember years watching this on Comedy Central every night. This used to come on and stuff like that. And it's Chris Rock with Bigger and Blacker. Um, this stand-up special, Chris Rock at his prime and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? This was aired on HBO in 1999. This is actually his third special on HBO and stuff like that too. Yeah, man, his third special and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I think his first one was um, the first one. I want to say he was doing the Big Ass Jokes in '94, and then he did Bring the Pain in '96 and stuff. And then this one was just a masterful work and stuff like that. And it even had a comedy album too. You know what I'm saying? Which I need to get my hands on that shit. But yeah, he was definitely talking about like a lot of shit with this one. like what was popular in 1999, like from Bill Clinton and stuff like that too. You know, you're talking about um, of course, difference between black and white kids and stuff like that. I mean, vintage Chris Rock at his best. The comedy album actually won him a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Comedy Album as well too. So that is something that's very interesting. Um, man, just all those memories of watching Comedy Central and that used to come on and shit like that. Man, that used to be crazy. And number 8. Now this is a comedy special a lot of people might not know about and stuff like that too. And this was definitely one of my all-time favorites and stuff like that too. It's Uptown. Hold up, sorry about that. Yeah, it is at Uptown Comedy Express. So this one right here was definitely raw comedy at its filterness. This was made by motherfucking Robert Townsend. He did some writing on this one and stuff like that. This special had Chris Rock, it had Arsenio Hall, Marsha Warfield, Barry Sobel. You know what I'm saying? Very dope comedy special and stuff like that. It has comedy skits, it has stand up specials and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mostly loved I mostly loved the Robert Townsend skit. The sketch that was pretty good and stuff like that. Marsha Warfield also did a thing too. This is around the time when she was in Night Court and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. If you guys see, it's on YouTube. If you guys want to see some of your earliest black stand up, I mean that stand up special picked up where Delirious left off. I mean, if you want to have that stand up special, you probably want to have Hollywood Shuffle. I'm gonna get you, sucker. You know what? The Arsenio Hall show. To be real with you, I mean, yeah, I mean that stand up special is definitely dope. My number 7. This one might be a controversial choice and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people kind of prefer this stand up specials, this stand up comedians earlier material. Um, it is Dave Chappelle with Sticks and Stones. This stand up special came out in 2019 and everything like that too. This is on Netflix, his fifth Netflix special and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, this one was very controversial, special and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because this was definitely Dave Chappelle doing what he does best. Ironically, this was directed by Stan Lathan, who we talked about him when it came to like the Def Comedy Jam and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was controversial because he was talking about he didn't want to. He was mentioning the Leaving Neverland documentary. He was showing his defense to comedian Louis C.K. because at that time, Louis C.K. was pretty much being scrutinized because of the fact that he was forcing women to watch him masturbate and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, amongst other things. But this was Dave Chappelle at his finest. This might be my favorite Dave Chappelle stand-up special. I know a lot of people want to say "Killing Me Softly" and stuff like that too, which was pretty good too. But this one right here, I gotta take my hat off with this one and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Number 6. This one right here. This is from a comedian. I feel like when he was definitely about to be in his prime, he tragically passed away and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude right here, he would not. He would have a lot of shit to say. He would have a lot of shit to say when it comes to the state of the world we're living in today. And that's Patrice O'Neill with Elephant in the Room. This was Comedy Central stand up special that premiered in 2011. This is actually his only 1 hour special because he actually died 9 months after this stand up special and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Patrice O'Neill, man, oh my god, that dude was a fucking monster and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? He did not give a fuck who he offended and shit. I mean, pretty much take Richard Pryor and Cat Williams and mix them together. That's what you got with Patrice O'Neill and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very, very, very dope. Just him telling stories about his life and then being satirical and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this definitely is one of my all-time favorites and stuff like that too when it comes to stand-up. Rest in peace to Patrice O'Neill. Um, my number 5. We're in the top 5 now. To many people, This stand-up special might be a lot of people's number one, and I was kind of close to putting it as my number one. I was very close, but I was just like, you know what? I didn't want to be too typical and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just be too typical. So I'm gonna get with Eddie Murphy's Delirious as my number five and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this stand-up special was just iconic. I mean, this Eddie Murphy pretty much birthed the term rock star comedian with this stand-up special and everything like that too. I also do have the Eddie Murphy comedian comedy album, which won him best comedy album in the 1984 Grammys and stuff like that too. I mean, he definitely did his thing on this one. He was talking about everything from like Luther Vandross to the Honeymooners and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this definitely stand-up special pretty much set him apart from the whole SNL crowd and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was rock star comedian at its finest and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? My number four, this stand-up special right here. I had a lot of memories growing up watching this one and stuff like that too. Depending on who you ask, this one might be controversial depending on who you ask, but I gotta go with the original Kings of Comedy and stuff like that. Give me one second. This was directed by the great Spike Lee himself, and this was released in 2000. It had Steve Harvey, D.O. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac. Originally, you had Guy Torry originally in D.O. Hughley's spot, but he left, and then that's when D.O. pretty much came out. Now, without this stand-up special, we wouldn't have a lot of their careers might not skyrocketed the way it did and shit like that too. I mean, it started off with Steve Harvey. He was the MC and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And then he followed that up with Mr. D.L. Hughley and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which I was never a big DL fan like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was never a big DL fan, but he did his thing. Then you had Cedric the Entertainer, where he was pretty much the dude for the younger cats and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But then, oh my God, then you had Mr. Bernie Mac himself and shit. And his set was legendary. To me, this is the reason, with all due respect to all the other comedians, this was the reason why you had to watch the original Kings of Comedy just for Bernie set himself. And without this set, we probably wouldn't have the Bernie Mac show and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So now my number three controversial pick, depending on what you think about this comedian, you can't deny the impact that this comedy special has had on many comedians. People from like Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock, they all looked at this one, and it's Bill Cosby with Bill Cosby himself. This is my number three favorite comedy special. I mean, this is another one that has a lot of nostalgic meaning towards me and stuff like that. Whether y'all want to talk about Bill or not, I mean, this is not the time and place to talk about this. I want to focus on the work. This is the classics there. Like, from one, the set alone, it's just Bill sitting in a stool. Had to drink some water, my throat was dry. It's just Bill sitting in a stool telling stories and stuff like that. And again, around that time, a lot of people were kind of counting Bill out because he had some stuff like around the late 70s and stuff like that. His career was not really as popular as it once was. I mean, he was still doing stand up, but he was trying to get more into like acting and stuff like that too, and then doing shit with music and stuff. But this one right here, he was just doing his thing with this one and shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these sets was like precursors to the stuff that we were seeing in the Cosby Show and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is an iconic special and everything like that too. I feel like if you really want to be a stand-up comedian, you have to watch that particular special, in my opinion. Now, my number two, this one right here, man. If Bill Cosby himself was daytime, this one I'm about to show you guys is nighttime, and I gotta go with Eddie Murphy, Raw, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. This classic shit right here. Oh my god. Let me tell you something. If you thought Delirious was crazy, Eddie just took this up wide notches and stuff like that too. This one got a wide theatrical release, and it's actually the highest grossing stand-up comedy film ever. I mean, speaking of Cosby, I mean, the whole set where he was imitating Bill Cosby and everything like that about Cosby talking to Eddie about why he can't curse like that on stage and shit. I mean, the impersonations was crazy. Him doing Richard Pryor, then of course him talking about STDs and shit like that. I mean, this stand-up special is crazy as hell and stuff like that. It's just Eddie Murphy at his best. I know a lot of fans love Delirious. I'm a Raw kind of guy and everything like that too. And my final stand-up special, my number one, and this one right here, in my opinion, is the blueprint of it all. This one is pretty much one of the best stand-up specials you'll ever watch. It's Richard Pryor live in concert in 1979. Man, man, man. This one right here is just perfection personified with this one. You know what I'm saying? This was distributed independently, and it was actually the first full length stand up film and everything like that too. And yes, he actually did make this into an album called Wanted Live in Concert and everything like that. Shout out to BJ because BJ actually got me that vinyl. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Very dope stand up special. Richard Pryor is really like the best comedian that can make tragedy into comedy and everything like that too. Talking about his heart attack and still telling outlandish stories and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every time I watch that stand-up special, I just watch how much sweat just grows in his armpits and stuff like that when he's wearing that red shirt. I mean, him heckling at the audience when the dude was trying to take pictures of him and stuff like that. Him imitating John Wayne. I mean, I was close to putting Sunset Strip. I was very close to putting Sunset Strip as my number one, but I'm just like, you know what? I gotta take it back for this one. So that's my top 10. So I can't wait to hear what you guys say, Try.
Number five, I got Delirious, classic. Loved it. Eddie in his bag. To me, he was the best on SNL at that time.
Oh yeah.
Um, Number four, I got Martin Lawrence. He's so crazy. Love that stand up. Again, he was in his bag during the '90s. Number three, the Kings of Comedy. Kings of Comedy I actually snuck in to see that. I went to
Really?
see I went to see, I think it was one of the X-Men films, and the multiplex theater we went to, it had finished early, and next door to it they had the Kings of Comedy, and we snuck in to see that. And Bernie Mac killed it. That was hilarious. Him talking about the kids on the bus and all that.
Yep. That's
And
special.
yeah, that was hilarious. And that was great. Definitely we won't get another one like that again. Um Number two is Chris Rock. The Bigger and Blacker. That one was great.
Nice.
Definitely enjoyed that one. One of his best on HBO. And number one, I gotta go with Raw, Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
To me, that's his best one. You know, he had the leather outfit on with the gloves and talking about it when his mother made the bootleg hamburgers for him. He went to McDonald's and his mother made the bootleg hamburgers with the grease dripping off of the bun and the big onions on it and shit.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So talked about when his father was drunk and he would like sing the old tunes and shit around the house.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Classic. That's why I want to see Eddie Murphy do another stand up. Give us that.
Just give us one more stand up, Eddie.
Yeah, just one more. You know, all these people think Kevin Hart is better than him. Like, Kevin Hart is not on his level
Nigga,
at all.
I don't even have Kevin Hart on my fucking list.
Nah, me neither. Because a lot of his specials, he did the same jokes.
I have real comedians.
You know.
Okay. I mean, we pretty much got the same list. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a few honorable mentions I do want to point out.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. All right, so my first honorable mention, I gotta go with Red Fox in Concert. This one was released in 1978. I totally forgot about this special when I was doing my list originally. I was like, damn, I knew I should have done a top 11 at some. I knew I should have done top. Like, nah. I mean, if I was to make a top 11, this would definitely be my number 11. 1 year after Sanford and Son, um, 1 year after Sanford and Son and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Red Fox definitely did his thing. His jokes was like way more dirtier than you expected and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, Next honorable mention I got is the Shaquille O'Neal roast to Emmett Till. I really only put this special for one specific reason, and that was Jamie Foxx annihilating the fuck out of Doug Williams set. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think there was any with Doug Williams said that him and Jamie planned that shit, but I mean, I've never seen Doug Williams do shit anything after that special. Mind you, everyone else was good. You had Monique there. You had Dick Gregory. You had Jeff Ross. Yes, that Jeff Ross there and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But Jamie was just crazy. And speaking of Jamie, um, we have 2002, three. I might have to get security. To me, his best stand up special and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this stand up special, he was just going in. I mean, the OJ walk to this day was classic. Anytime he goes on after OJ is always hilarious and shit. And then, yeah, man, this one was a classic right here. Then my next one I meant, and then the next two I already mentioned, as Arma mentioned, Richard Pryor live at the Sunset Strip. To many people, this might be Richard Pryor's magnum opus. I like this one, but I've always been more of a live and concert guy more. You know what I'm saying? And Pryor definitely did his thing on this one and stuff like that too. This was right after the time when he burned himself, and the whole shit with it. He lit up a match, and he's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm Richard Pryor." I mean, classic. And my last Alma mention is Martin Lawrence, "You So Crazy." I mean, if Pryor took over comedy in the '70s, Murphy took over comedy in the '80s, then the '90s solely belonged to Martin. Especially if you need evidence, watch that special and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, classic special. Those are my honorable mentions and shit.
Right. I like the recent stand up that Marlon Wayans did when he talked about Will Smith was his best friend. That's after the slap.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious. And he's telling the story of how he met Will and Jada and how they were his friends, and how he spoke to Will after the slap happened, and I really enjoyed that one. That was funny.
Yeah, that was a good stand-up special. You got any more honorable mentions or no?
Some more Chandelier. That special was dope. I really enjoyed some more. She don't get talked about enough. I think she's a very funny comedian. D.L. Hewley, he had a lot. I just couldn't. I didn't pick one, but he had like a lot of great. But even with him, he talked about like the same shit as family, and
Right.
usually talked about what was going on with the country, and at those times, and you know,
Yeah, man. Yeah, Dio, he's good. Like he's another one that kind of tells the same jokes over and over.
yeah.
Uh, okay, okay, that's dope. That's dope. All right, well, that's our list right there and shit like that. You know what I'm
Cat
saying?
Williams too. Cat Williams, forgot the name of that one. The one where he was in Atlanta and Little John and the Brat was there, and he was
Pimp,
talking about
Chron-
like, huh?
Pimp Chronicles.
Yeah, we was talking about like Michael Jackson being Peter Pan and shit.
Oh, my.
That's when he was signed with Dipset. When Dipset had signed him.
Yep, I remember that era.
That shit was hilarious. I
Yeah,
was like, yo,
that was when you can just get them bootleg Cat William
yeah,
comedy specials and shit like that.
yeah,
Man, that was back when Comedy Central used to just show a lot of dope stand special late at night,
oh yeah,
anything like
for
that.
sure.
Now all these shows like South Park, and I love South Park, but I'm just like, God damn, how much South Park can y'all show in one day?
Mhm.
Shit.
Yeah.
Any more honorable mentions? Are you good?
Dave Chappelle, of course.
Oh yes.
He like the king of Netflix now.
Oh yeah.
Any one of his stand-ups are hilarious. You know, there's so many others, man. I love so many others. Mike Epps, Earthquake. You know, what's his name? Cedric. You know, they had like some great stand ups over the years.
Yeah, all of them were pretty dope and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I had to pick, I'll even throw in Monique's recent Center special that she came out with. Lee Daniels direct. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dope.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end this off right here and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This was pretty good. Dope stand up special list and everything like that too. Also, if you guys have not watched, check out the Def Comedy Jam review that me, and Lashia did yesterday and
Yeah.
stuff like that too. Check that shit out. All right, so tomorrow at 4.
No, not yesterday. I think Wednesday we did that. Was
Right,
it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Wednesday because yesterday I didn't do shit. See, that's how crazy this day was. I
Mm-hmm.
confused my days and shit. But all right, so tomorrow around 4 shit like that, we got a request from my boy John Dixon. Shout out to John Dixon for sending me this shit. We're gonna get some West Coast shit. We're gonna talk about Cam with his Made in America album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna work on a schedule tonight. I'll send it to you.
All right. All right.
But by the way, did you still want to do that idea you texted me about next week?
Yeah, I gotta figure out how we gonna do that shit though. Like, I don't know. Like
Okay.
I be throwing out the shit. I'm like, how can we do that? Like a list and all that. So
Oh yeah, we can definitely make that
yeah.
shit work. Yeah. I
Yeah.
pretty much got my list done already.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, man. Most of these stand-up specials we mentioned, you can catch them on streaming, YouTube, and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we might do another list like this. I don't know because I kind of felt bad. I didn't have a lot of black women stand-up specials a lot on my list, but I just like
Mm-hmm.
you know what,
Man.
nothing against that, nothing against black women, but I might make another list in the future.
Mm-hmm.
There was some ones you mentioned like S'mores one
Yeah.
and
She
stuff. The
funny.
ones you mentioned and shit, and then, even some
Tiffany
recent.
Haddish was good too. I forgot the name of her special I saw for.
Nah, I'm
You
good
don't
with
like her?
to me, she's like another Kevin Hart. Same
Oh
jokes
God.
all the time.
Right.
Mostly yells. Even when I watched her shit from like Def Comedy Jam, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
she's more comic viewish than Def Comedy Jam. If that makes sense. But yeah, man. Definitely be on the lookout for that shit and appreciate this try as usual.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all niggas later. Peace.